What do we get when an entire nation comes together? The National Nordic Foundation. The NNF is proud to be supporting U.S. athletes for over 10 years. With our mission to develop athletic excellence in the United States, we continue to raise money ensuring that Nordic skiers can follow their dreams. The NNF has supported hundreds of aspiring athletes, helping them reach new heights, allowing athletes to follow their dreams and taking their talents to the next level. The NNF removes financial barriers for athletes and programs. The NNF helps success. Join us and support our future stars. Help keep Nordic skiing strong.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Ski Town USA Continental Cup, presented by our friends at the Steamboat Ski and Resort Corporation. We welcome our viewers from across the globe who are watching on Facebook at the USA Nordic page. And now, ladies and gentlemen, we are just minutes away from the start of the 2017 FIS Steamboat Springs Ski Town USA Nordic Combined Continental Cup. We'd like to thank all 13 nations for traveling here today. A big welcome to Austria, Canada, Estonia, France, Germany, Italy, Japan, Kazakhstan, Norway, Poland, Russia, Ukraine, and of course, the United States of America. To officially begin the competition, please show your respect while we play the USA National Anthem.
Thank you, Pat Arnone, for that display of patriotism down the face of the HS75. We are ready to get things rolling here at Howelson Hill. First round of the competition jumps, kicking it off with Mr. Bennett Gamber, local boy, junior in high school.
16 years young, Tim.
16, wasn't that a beautiful time?
Oh, I actually don't really remember. It's a long, long time ago. Don't turn it up too loud. Yesterday we had it too loud, so pull it back. Yeah, it was. That's good.
From the hill, and we will get things underway. Sounds like we're ready. And Bennett out on the bar.
Actually, I think we got some fortune fish.
My mistake. There's a couple four jumpers coming down at us.
Alexa Braybeck on the bar. Nice jump for Alexa. I'm Brian Harvey. With me today, Mr. Tim Rouse. Tim, how are you?
I'm doing well this morning, Brian. Thank you. How are you?
I'm doing very well. I think we got the best seat in the house here.
I think we do. We also have Eric Fries in the booth, the Grand Master Coordinator of these sorts of events. Thank you for all your work and effort here, Eric.
The man behind the scene, the man with a plan. We can't do this without Eric. Even though he,
somebody's got a plan.
even though he says that we could, I don't believe we can. So thank you, Eric Fries, for all your hard work. And thanks to your understanding wife.
Yeah. More importantly.
Events like these are not easy on the home life.
Looks like another forward jumper coming down the hill.
The complaint was couldn't hear you guys.
Yeah, the music was too loud. So just check it. Just make sure it's good. You can send me a text if you want. You know, if you need us to turn it down. Hey, did you get my text? Do we have results from yesterday?
You can kind of feel the energy shift around House and Hill. Things are getting serious up there. This one's for real.
All right, for those that are just joining us and new to the sport, we are heading into the competition round here in just a matter of seconds.
We're live here too. And a shout out to everyone watching on live stream. Welcome to Howelson Hill and the 2017 Continental Cup in Steamboat Springs, Colorado.
That was Wyatt Graves. I want to say Wyatt is 8 or 9 years old, throwing himself off that
He's
jump.
a young boy.
It helps when your dad. It helps when your dad's a coach.
It does help. A lot of time at the sports club.
Not a bad place to spend time here at historic Howelson Hill.
Or your entire childhood. That works too. Got another four jumper out on the bar. Adjusting the goggles, getting ready to fly.
This is actually.
My mistake. We're into the starting lineup. We got number one, local boy, Bennett Gamber. Let's hear it, folks. Steamboat Springs going. Bennett Gamber.
Bennett, 16 years young, coming out of gate 7, so they've moved up the hill a little bit as this wind has died. Solid flight for Bennett.
Good jump.
Almost
Young man competing with the internationals.
79.5 kilometers, his distance 58. He's getting some good style points here. 16.5, 16.5, 16.0, a 17. The high and the low will get thrown out. And he's got a score of 90, putting him into the first position right now. A solid jump.
I'd say when you're competing with internationals like
Coach them, then you're doing quite well at 90 points.
Yeah, well, when you're, well, you know, top 100 in the world, that ain't a bad place to be.
It's not bad, I'll take it.
We've got Tucker Heffler on the jump.
Another kid from the United States of America, Park City Ski Club. Here comes Tucker. What's Park City, what is that name? I can't remember. Park City Nordic.
Solid jump for Tucker.
Good style points here, 16.0, 16.0, 55.5 meters. Total score, 83.2. Well done, Tucker. Pushes him to second spot right now behind Bennett Gamber.
next up, the Polish competitor.
Pavel Twardal. All right, here comes Pavel. Kicking off the international contingent of the first competition round. Strong looking jump. Seems to me that went past 65.
67 meters for Pavel.
Got some good style points coming in.
Absolutely, 17, 16.5, 17.5.
I think that'll pop him up to the number one spot for now with a total of 108 points, 108.1.
And that's solid. Yesterday and the day before's winners were right around 120, 121. So
We've got a long list.
Go through to get there.
We certainly do. Another 43 ski jumpers to go.
Next up, Eldar Oryusev from Kazakhstan.
Ready.
I wonder who the World Cuppers are that are here.
Well, Coax me.
A little squirrely on the landing, but a solid looking jump for Eldar.
a solid jump there for Eldar, 55.5 meters. Dinged a little bit on technique, 15.5, 16.0. He's going to drop down to the fourth spot with a 74.4. Right now, Bennett Gamber and Tucker Heffler in second and third, respectively.
with Torzov from Poland, right now sitting in the number 1 spot.
And next up, jumper number 5, we have Ivan Konolev from Russia. Russian team putting up a good showing in the try round. Looks like a nice pop right here. Oh, way down the hill.
Wow.
Let's see what comes up here.
Fastest time down the in-run. 69 meters is the distance. Nice style points here. 17.0, 17.0, a 16.5. 111.3.
Pops him up into the number 1 spot. Well done, Ivan. Next up, Konstantin Abramov, Russian teammate to Ivan.
Little inter-team rivalry here. Let's see what we got. Here comes Konstantin.
Solid flight.
Looking jump.
Just under 80 kilometers
down the in-run. 64.5 meters. Decent style points here. 16.0, 17.0, a 16.5.
Let's see where it puts him in the standings, Brian. I feel the tension building already. We're only 6 jumpers in.
That pushes
100.9 points, pops him into 3rd place. Behind his teammate Pavel and Ivan Konolev from, oh, I'm sorry, not teammate Pavel. Pavel from Poland and Ivan Konolev, his teammate, still in the number 1 slot.
Up now, Hisaki Nagamine from Japan.
Japanese jumpers. Let's see where he goes.
These guys fly far. Good pop off the table. Solid jump down the hill.
I think he pushed 70 there.
70 even. Well done, Hisaki.
great style points here. 18.0, 18.0, 17.5.
We have a new leader.
115.3. And it's
Hisaki Nagamine.
and sitting in the number 1 position. Nice jump for Hisaki.
Back to Poland. Piotr Kudzia. There's some free ski day people over on the magic carpet, enjoying the jumping while you're riding the lift. Here comes Piper.
Solid jump.
Another long one down the hill. He's holding the finger up. He liked that one.
You can see his skis flexing in the air. Pretty cool.
We have a new distance leader, 70.5 meters. See where the style points come in.
17, 18.0, 17, 112.9. Good enough for 2nd right now.
Sitting in 2nd place with a long list to go. Nathaniel Ma, our neighbor to the north. The Great White North. Our only Canadian competitor representing his country. Let's see what you got, Nathaniel.
Nathaniel had a solid showing in the cross-country race yesterday, improved upon his time from the day before. The only participant from Canada. Beauty, eh? Oh,
Beauty. Little head nod at the bottom. Didn't look like he was too happy with that one.
still good style point. 16.5, 17.0, 97.2. Good enough for 6th place. Remember, we are going in reverse order, basically, from our finish yesterday.
Next up, from Kazakhstan, Chinese Rakbarov, our friend Rakbarov.
Arguably the best, one of the best names in Nordic combined skiing. Rakbarov from Kazakhstan. So those are all yesterday's results.
Yeah. This is after the grimace. This isn't jumping.
Yeah,
So
no, I
this
get it. This is the one.
that's-
I've been here.
Carried good speed down the in-run at 79.6.
Mr. Rakbarov having a nice jump, went
Six-
62 meters.
16.0, 16.5.
It's going to move him into 8th place.
Sounds good, Brian.
Next up, from Italy, we have Dennis Parolari. Looks like yesterday we had Dennis finishing 34th in the Nordic combined yesterday. Let's see what we got today, Dennis.
Oh, nice looking jump.
Had some nice distance there, struggled a little bit on the landing.
Good speed in, 16.0, 16.5. He went 65.5 meters.
That's the first, not quite today. We're just watching people break over that 80-kilometer mark at the end of the takeoff, so expect a little longer distances.
That pushes him to 6th spot with a score of 99.3.
Next up, jumper number 12. Get your mitts ready, bang them together. We got Grant Andrews, Steamboat Springs own, people. Give him a cheer him on. Grant finished a respectable 30th yesterday in the Nordic combined. Here he comes off the takeoff.
Solid jump.
Nice looking jump. Let's say the high 60s.
Oh, he is fired up.
He was pumped about that one.
Great to see Grant Andrews. 18, 17.5, 68.5 meters.
Looks like it's going to pop him into 4th place, 109.2 points.
Nice jump, Grant Andrews.
Well done, jumping up into the leaderboard.
Next up, teammate Jared Shoemate from Park City. Another United States competitor. Let's cheer him on. These are the young guys gunning for the team. Out here showing what they can do. The funnel gets so small in the sports. Here comes Jared. Cheer him on, folks. Nice looking jump.
Solid.
Short.
17.0, 16.5, good style point, 63 meters is the distance.
Moves them into 9th place. Well done, Jared. Another young gun gunning for that top slot on the U.S. team.
Scoring 94.7 points. Remember, yesterday's winner of the jump portion was at about 121, so we do have some room as we're going in reverse order.
Yes, sir. And next up on the jump, Yuto Nakamura from Japan. Another one of these strong Japanese jumpers. They finished very high in the trial round. Just can't skate.
These Japanese ski jumpers go far. Good looking jump right there. Good pop, gets down the hill, carrying a good speed. Their wax is right. 80 kilometers, 72.
Strong jump. That could be the long jump of the morning so far for the competition round. Moves him up into 1st spot, 119.1 points, right in that leader range.
Very solid, 18.5, 18.0. Style points are great. And again, Tim, what are they looking for in the air and when they land? Because style is a big part of this.
It's all about what you wear, Brian. Style points in the air, looking for a good still body position, not a lot of adjustment, and the landing just to really stick a solid landing in that telemark stance without wobbling or having a ski shootout.
This is Andreas Ilves.
From Estonia.
Good speed at 80.3.
Kilometers per hour off the end of that jump.
67 is the distance. Good style point, 17, 16.5, 17. 101.8. That's going to push him
Up
to
to 7th spot.
7th
spot for Andreas. Well done.
So I believe we do have a 2-minute course hold or break right now as we are going to take a commercial break at the USA Nordic Sports Set. And we're going to reset.
What do we get when an entire nation comes together? The National Nordic Foundation. The NNF is proud to be supporting U.S. athletes for over 10 years. With our mission to develop athletic excellence in the United States, we continue to raise money ensuring that Nordic skiers can follow their dreams. The NNF has supported hundreds of aspiring athletes, helping them reach new heights, allowing athletes to follow their dreams and taking their talents to the next level. The NNF removes financial barriers for athletes and programs. The NNF helps success. Join us and support our future stars. Help keep Nordic skiing strong.
We are back live on the Facebook page of USA Nordic Sports as our friends are watching from across the globe to the 2017 Steamboat COC Sunday USA FIS Continental Cup. We are 15 ski jumpers in here, Tim. How are we looking?
We were seeing a little bit of repetition from the trial round with those strong Japanese jumpers holding the 1 and 2 slot. With Piotr Kudzia in third at a distance of 70.5. They were pushed out a little bit by the jumpers later, so we'll have to see if their marks will hold.
Top U.S. spot right now held by Grant Andrews, who's sitting in 5th place.
Strong performance for Grant so far. Next up on the hill, we're still on technical hold. They just let it go. Looks like we're still on technical hold, but next up will be Martin Hahn from the Republic of Germany.
And I'm not sure if we're going to get a few 4 jumpers here before we continue, or if we're going to just jump right back into competition. And I just heard from Ron that we are going right back into competition.
Which means we'll see our first German jumper. That's not true.
We had Martin Hahn.
Yes, we want bib 17.
That's last round's points. Oh, yeah, that's what I did. He already just went. Okay, next up, Noah Ian Mraz from Austria. We've got him on the bar. Looks like we're off technical hold, getting ready to go.
Looks like Nicolas Didier from France was disqualified again.
Maybe a technical issue. Nice looking jump from Noah. Hands up through the outrun.
Good speed, 80.4, 66 meters is the distance. Solid technical scores here. Style points.
It's going to move him up into 10th place. 10th place for Noah. Well done.
Tim, talk about the suits. They have to be you can't have a big Gumby suit, or you're going to get in trouble.
No wings on your suit, no squirrel suits, it has to be a well-fitting. There's a special machine that will measure how far the suit comes off your body, and if your suit is too baggy, you will be disqualified. It provides too much resistance. They're trying to equalize the resistance. Next up, Luca Gianmoena from Italy.
Good speed down the in run.
Nice looking jump, solid landing.
Getting good scores here. 65 meters. 16.5, 17.0, 17.5, another 16.5.
And in the 12th place. Well done, Luca. Nice performance from the Italians so far.
Grant Andrews from the United States still sitting in 5th place right now. Very respectable as we continued to crawl down this jump list.
This next jumper held the top jump for a long time in the trial round. Anton Schluter from Germany. He's on the bar. Let's see what he's got for comp round. Here he comes. Nice looking jump.
Wow.
Oh, way down by the K.
Good speed in the in run.
Thinking he might have the long mark. Oh, not quite. Just behind Yuto Nakamura at 71.5 meters.
Dinged on the style points here a little bit. 15.5, 15.5, 15.5. 110.
Moves him into 5th place.
Just above Grant Andrews.
Just above Grant Andrews. Grant is in good company. Moving along, Dmytro Mazurchuk from Ukraine. Love the international flavor of this event, Brian. Dmytro Mazurchuk. Don't get to say that very often.
I have been butchering names all weekend long here, Tim, and I apologize to all the athletes here and their families that are watching this event, USA Nordic Sports on the Facebook.
That was a good-looking jump from Dmytro, carrying just about 80 kilometers off the end of the jump. Some good style points coming through. 66 meters moves him into a position of, survey says, 13th place. Lucky 13 for Dmytro. That's good luck in Ukraine.
99.1 points.
Sepp Schneider out of Austria, next jumper on the bar, moving right along. Fast and furious action here at Howelson Hill. Jumpers from all over the world throwing it through the air in Howelson Hill.
Number 23.
He's got the go. If you look, you can see his coaches off to the viewer's left of the jump. They'll wave the flag, tell the athlete when the wind is right.
Looks like he got a little off to the right on that. Maybe a little cross breeze up there, I'm not sure, but he's carrying great speed off the end of the jump. Some good style points coming through. And a total distance of 65.5 meters will move our friend Julian into 9th place. Single digits, well done. Strong Germans in the top 10. They held 9th, 8th, and 5th place so far, with the 2 Japanese jumpers still in 1 and 2. Piotr Kudzia, number 3 from Poland.
And Grant Andrews sitting in 6th position right now, holding strong here as we continue down this jump list. From Estonia, Kale Pio from the Jumping Pio family. Yes.
3 Pio brothers jumping here today. Nice looking jump from Kale.
Good style points, 16.5, 16.5, a distance of 62.5. Good for 18th position here, 94 points.
To see, I wonder what the bet is among the brothers each jump. There must be something.
Talk about sibling rivalry.
Right, and his brother, Han Hendrik, up next, jumper 25. Nothing like your brother to make you compete a little harder, right? Mm-hmm.
Making mom and dad proud here.
Han Hendrik finished 27th yesterday.
Solid jump for Han.
Looking good.
Good speed, 80.1 kilometers down the in run, 17.5, a distance of 64 meters. And it's going to be...
See the point total, 12th place at 100 points even. Well done, Han Hendrik. Okay, people, here we go. Get your mitts together, warm them up. We got Ben Barron in the start house. Local boy, lives about 3 blocks away. Let's hear it. Cheer him on. Come on, Ben.
Ben on his home hill here at historic Howelson Hill. Let's make some noise.
How many times has he jumped this 60? This is where it counts, Ben. Here we go. Good looking jump from Ben Barron.
Solid jump.
You know what I mean.
67.5 meters, 17.5, 17.0, 17.0. A score of 110.1, pushing him up to 5th position.
Yeah, Ben Barron, way to represent the hometown. Well done.
Number 5 slot. Next up, Vitaly Ivanov from Russia. Our Russian friends, good to have them here in Steamboat Springs. Welcome.
And Ben has been not happy about his jumping recently. This one has got to make him happy, Tim.
Got to make him feel good. That was a solid jump.
He said he was trying to find his mojo.
Apparently he found it.
I think he found it.
Hill.
Bottled up there at the top of the
It was on the
75.
pommel.
That was Vitaly Ivanov from Russia, 66.5 meters, 17.0, 17.0, 16.5,
a total of 107.2, putting him in the 9th slot.
Stiff competition in this competition round.
Things are really heating up. We got the top 4 to 5 jumpers, all within just a meter to a meter and a half of each other.
Right now, the Japanese holding the 1 and 2 spots, Tim.
Still holding 1 and 2, but here's a teammate, Go Sonahara from Japan. Let's see if he can couple up with his 2 teammates in 1 and 2.
And because this is the Nordic combined event, and we are going in reverse order, it's a reverse order of how they finish the event. It doesn't necessarily mean that they're better jumpers as we get further down.
Way down the hill for that Japanese contender, Go Sonahara.
Distance of 69 meters. Some beautiful style points coming in. It's going to move him up, and he's in with his teammates at number 3. The strong Japanese jumpers putting on a performance so far.
1, 2, and 3.
Got to be happy about that.
Japanese people on the live stream, congratulations.
Right now, you are sitting pretty. Our next skier, next jumper here, Armin Bauer from Italy.
Here comes Armin.
Not quite as far down the hill as he would like. Good speed coming in here.
Solid style point, 16.5, 16.5, but only 59.5 meters, which will give him a 25th position and 86.9 points.
Seems like something that didn't quite get off the takeoff. Something happened there where that's the game though, right? Just milliseconds of difference
and meters of change.
It looks like the wind is kind of tweaked a little bit. Now it's...
This looks like it's blowing a bit across by those telltale flags at the bottom of the takeoff. All right, next jumper, Tom Lubitz, strong team from Germany. We have Germans sitting in 11th and 12th place.
Solid jump there.
I think that was around 67. Let's see what the
66.5.
17.0, 17.0.
Got it.
Still got it, my friend.
That moves him up into 12th place. Well done, Tom. Right in with a group of Germans, his teammates Martin Hahn and Julian Schmid, sitting at 11th, 12th, and 13th. But the strong Japanese team still in 1, 2, and 3. Shout out to Yuto Nakamura holding the top spot. Did you get technical?
We are going to take a quick technical break here as our friends at USA Nordic Sports on Facebook and on their live stream are going to take a quick commercial break, and we'll be back with more from the 2017 Steamboat Ski Town USA FIS Continental Cup here at historic Howelson Hill. A big shout out to our title sponsor, the Steamboat Ski and Resort Corporation. Happy Trails, home of champagne powder, a key partner of the Steamboat Springs Winter Sports.
What do we get when an entire nation comes together? The National Nordic Foundation. The NNF is proud to be supporting U.S. athletes for over 10 years. With our mission to develop athletic excellence in the United States, we continue to raise money ensuring that Nordic skiers can follow their dreams. The NNF has supported hundreds of aspiring athletes, helping them reach new heights, allowing athletes to follow their dreams and taking their talents to the next level. The NNF removes financial barriers for athletes and programs. The NNF helps success. Join us and support our future stars. Help keep Nordic skiing strong.
back live on the USA Nordic Sports Facebook page feed. We welcome our viewers from across the globe to the 2017 Steamboat Ski Town USA FIS Continental Cup here at historic Howelson Hill. I'm Brian Harvey from Steamboat Radio, and with me, my friend Tim Rouse.
Good to be here, Brian. Lots of action so far. Excited to see the second half of this first jump round. Jumpers are starting to tune it in, head a little further down the hill. Exciting stuff. Looks like we're back in action. Vaxillaire time. Lilian Vaxillaire from France coming up. Finished 14th yesterday in the combined. Strong competitive. Nice looking jump.
Looks like he'll get good style points there. Looking very clean in the air and on the landing.
18-0, 17-5, 17-0, another 17-5. Was a strong jump. He's going to pop up in, I'd say, 11th place. I had him in the top 10 in my head, but number 11 for Vaxillaire time. Nicely done, Lillian.
A distance of 67 meters. And right now,
Team Germany, Philippe Laroc. Strong Germans, a great performance in the skate race yesterday as well.
our current leaders in this jumping competition, 3 Japanese jumpers.
Team Japan looking very strong in the jump portion of this competition, and here comes Philip.
Carrying good speed.
Solid looking landing.
80.3 kilometers down the
in run here, a distance of 62.5 meters, but solid style points, 17.0, 16.5, 17.0.
Moves him right into 23rd place with 94.8 points.
Our leader right now, Yuto Nakamura, followed by
Nakamine and Go Sarahara.
All right, folks, get your hands together. Another American competitor straight from the USA, and just down the road a piece from Park City, Steven Schumann. Strong young competitor, got him for one of those slots on the A team. This is where they prove it. Nice looking jump for Steven, and super smooth on that landing.
Good speed, 80.1 kilometers, 16.5.
15.5, a 15.5, a 17.0, a distance of 64 meters,
Respectable jump for Steven. Let's see where it places him.
97.9, 22nd
place.
Got to keep in mind, some of these young kids competing with athletes that have been doing this for a number of years at the international level. Quite an impressive event for Steven.
Ryota Yamamoto, another Japanese jumper here.
Could it
Expect
be?
him.
Could they come back and all group up in the top 4? We'll see in just a minute. Got to give the Japanese team brightest uniform. It's really some quite bright jumpsuits. It's definitely don't miss them.
Helps with the style points, right?
Yes, it does.
Oh, solid jump.
Nice looking jump from Team Japan.
Just under 80 kilometers. 69.5 is the distance.
17.5, 17.5, 17.5.
Those kind of style points could move it, and there we have it. A Japanese grouping at the top of the list, 1 through 4, all held by Team Japan. Quite an impressive show so far.
Who's going to disrupt the Japanese stronghold on the top 4? We'll have to wait and see.
Bib number 35 from Poland, Wojciech Maruzas.
And some good speed off that takeoff.
Good looking jump.
67 meters. I don't think that's going to unseat our Japanese leaderboard, but a strong performance nonetheless.
17.5, 17.5, 17.0, a 16.5.
Moves him in the 13th position. Well done.
And right now,
Barron of the United States still sitting in 7th place.
Strong placement for Ben.
Grant Andrews in 12th place. So, oh, excuse me, 9th place. So, U.S. still holding strong right now.
Still in the single digits.
And we haven't seen Ben Loomis yet.
Next up, we have Tobias Simon from Germany. Here he comes, off the takeoff. Nice looking jump. I think that looked over 70 to me. We'll have to wait and see.
The strong German team.
72.5 meters. Long jump of the day so far. 18.0, 18.0, 18.5, 18.0.
This could break the Japanese stronghold on the leaderboard. Top of the hill so far. Tobias Simon, well done.
Wow, what a jump that was.
The bar has moved.
And let's see what happens.
Norwegian jumper right now. We're going to see some movement here at the top.
Now it's getting hot and heavy, folks.
Harald Jonas Rieber from Norway. These Norwegian skiers, man, they've been doing it for a long time, and they are good.
So strong. 11th place yesterday in the combined competition. Looks like a solid jump coming down the hill. I'm going to put that one over 70 as well.
80.2 kilometers.
18.0,
72 meters. Good style points coming through.
17.5, 18.0, 17.5. Another 18, that's good for second.
Bumping everybody down the leaderboard except Tobias Simon, second place for Harald Johannes Rieber. But up next, get your hands together. Local boy.
Place yesterday, Jasper Good.
He is.
Chasing Olympic dreams from our hometown here in Steamboat.
Now Ben Barron has set the bar. Let's see if he can outjump his buddy. Always friendly competition between these U.S. ski team members.
And here comes Jasper.
Solid jump for Jasper.
Looking good, hands up.
80.1 kilometers, 17.5, a 66.5.
Meter jump, well done. It's going to move him into 17th spot. 17th spot.
Where was he yesterday?
In the jumping, I don't know where he started in the top 10.
He's about a minute, 8 seconds back right now. A little further back than he was yesterday.
Another jump to go to improve on that, though. Jumper number 39, Cinder Ure Sodvik from Norway.
I think it's just a one jump round.
Oh, was it a one jump?
I think so.
Oh, one to count. I'll stop saying that.
Cinder
Ooh, that was a
Ure.
long jump. That was 70 plus, easy.
Good speed at
Little
80.3
wall on the
kilometers.
landing, but style points are coming through pretty well. 71.5 meters for Cinder. That's going to be a high score. Moves him into third place. Team Norway taking over Japan's role on the leaderboard. Number 2 and 3 belonging to Norway, Harald Johannes Rieber and Cinder Sodvik. But still up top, Tobias Simon from the Republic of Germany.
And from Italy, we've got Lucas Rungaerder here.
Run Galdier? Let's try Run Galdier just for fun.
I like that.
Run Galdier. Lucas finished 10th place yesterday. Here's a competitor, folks. Top 10 yesterday. That's a nice strong jump. Looks like the high 60s. 67.5 meters for Lucas.
17.5, 17.5, 17.0, a 109.8, good for 12th position.
Moving right through, we're on jumper number 40. There's only 46 or 46 jumpers today.
So about 5 more to go. About 5 more jumpers to go here.
Thomas Jostel from Austria coming up next. You got some funk on here, dude. Oh, yeah. Here comes Thomas. Nice looking jump.
Oh, nice. 80.4 kilometers down the in-run.
Somewhere in the mid-60s, I'm guessing.
17.5, 17.5, 17.0, 67 meters.
Great style points. Let's see where that puts his rank. It's going to put him at number 14 slot. Starting out 14th, just about a minute back in the skate race.
Just behind Grant Andrews, who's 58 seconds behind our leader right now. Ben Barron sitting at 49 seconds.
That's a manageable gap with the right team working together.
Excuse me, 54 seconds.
David Veld from Germany up next. Finished 4th in the overall yesterday. Strong performance from David. Let's see what he's got today. Beautiful, smooth looking jump. He was happy with that. Little fist pump over the line.
17.5, 17.0, a distance of 68.5 meters.
Strong style points. That's going to move him up. Top 10 maybe? Number 9.
Number 9.
9th going out, just 43 seconds back off our current leader, Tobias Simon. Okay, folks, here it comes. Ben Loomis, yesterday's shining star for the United States of America, came in 5th place from the Flying Eagle Ski Club. Let's hear it. This kid's got talent. He's going to go to the show.
Ben Loomis. Make some noise, Steamboat.
Here we go, folks.
Breathe in and now let's breathe out.
Yeah, Ben.
Solid jump.
Looks like over 70 to me with some nice style. Floated a little to the right.
Great speed, 80.7 kilometers down the in run, a distance of 71.5 meters.
Move him up.
18.0.
Ladies and gentlemen, let's hear it for Ben. Number 1 rank so far. 2 jumpers left.
123.8.
Incredible performance. 0.3 points ahead of top Tobias Simon. But next up, number 44, we have Hugo Buffard, who is one strong skate skier. We saw it yesterday.
And Hugo, jumping is not his specialty, but he makes it up on the cross-country ski, so he's probably not going to jump as far as Ben Loomis. He hasn't this week, so let's see if he gets a good score. Look out.
Here comes Hugo.
Solid jump.
Looks like
80.2 kilometers down the in run here. 17.5, 64 is the distance.
Looks like he's gonna have a little time to make up on the skate again. About a minute 26 back. That's
doable.
Gap, but I think for him it's doable.
It's doable. How fast he's been skiing. I think he'd like to have flown a little further down the hill, but he has been cross-country skiing so well.
So next up from Norway, jumper 45, Truls Johansen from Norway. Coming down, second to last jumper. But right now, we got Ben Loomis sitting in the top spot. Nice to see an American on that leaderboard.
Hey, we've got American flags here, top 15 spots.
And
15,
here
12.
comes the Norwegian. A nice looking jump.
Johansson, solid.
I think Ben's going to be safe though. That looks like somewhere in the mid to high 60s. 66.5 meters.
17.5, 17.0, 17.0, a 16.5. And a 107.9.
Only one jumper left to go that can upset Ben's lead out spot. We got Mikko Kokslien, the strong Norwegian, yesterday's winner.
Johansson in 18th position, minute 4 behind.
Kokslien is the man to beat on the bar. Here we go, folks. Put your hands together. This man's a competitor.
Solid jump.
Got a little sideways towards the very end.
Good speed in, 80.3 kilometers, 17.5, 17.5, 67 meters.
Let's see what it does. It's 12th place. That leaves our boy, Ben Loomis, in the top spot. Well done, Ben.
Ben will have a 2-second lead on Tobias Simon from Germany.
Looks like it'll be Ben and Tobias deciding what kind of pace they want to put out. Right behind them, Harald Johannes Rieber, another strong competitor from yesterday, finished in number 11, also a strong skate skier. Number 4, Cinder Ude Sotvik. And number 5 into that Japanese contingent, Yudo Nakamura, Hisaki Nagamine, Go Sonahara, and Ryota Yamamoto. Number 9, Petr Kudzia holding on to number 9. Well done. And 10, David Veld from the Republic of Germany. Looks like our American places. After that, we got Ben Barron at number 13.
Come back.
Jasper Good ended up at number 24. Steven Schumann at 34. Tucker Heffler at 43.
All righty, it's the 2017 Steamboat Ski Town USA FIS Continental Cup. We are through the jump round, and a little bit later this afternoon, we're going to be running the cross-country race, a 2:30 start time at the Romick Rodeo Arena for the 5-lap, 10-kilometer cross-country race. with awards immediately following that at 3 o'clock. A big shout out to our title sponsor, the Steamboat Ski and Resort Corporation, our presenting support partner, Gerber Baron Design Build, our event support partners, the National Nordic Foundation, USA Nordic Sports, and the City of Steamboat Springs. We are going to take a quick break here from our live stream that's going on at the Facebook page of the USA Nordic Sports, where we are being viewed from around the globe. Tim Rouse, thank you for joining me. It's been a fun morning.
Been a fun morning. Thank you, Brian. A quick shout out to all the competitors out there, volunteers, coaches, everyone who made this wonderful event happen here in Steamboat Springs. Thank you all.
Also like to thank
What do we get when an entire nation comes together? The National Nordic Foundation. The NNF is proud to be supporting U.S. athletes for over 10 years. With our mission to develop athletic excellence in the United States, we continue to raise money ensuring that Nordic skiers can follow their dreams. The NNF has supported hundreds of aspiring athletes, helping them reach new heights, allowing athletes to follow their dreams and taking their talents to the next level. The NNF removes financial barriers for athletes and programs. The NNF helps success. Join us and support our future stars. Help keep Nordic skiing strong. What do we get when an entire nation comes together? The National Nordic Foundation. The NNF is proud to be supporting U.S. athletes for over 10 years. With our mission to develop athletic excellence in the United States, we continue to raise money ensuring that Nordic skiers can follow their dreams. The NNF has supported hundreds of aspiring athletes, helping them reach new heights, allowing athletes to follow their dreams and taking their talents to the next level. The NNF removes financial barriers for athletes and programs. The NNF helps success. Join us and support our future stars. Help keep Nordic skiing strong.
Welcome to Steamboat Springs, site of the third Continental Cup competition of the 2017-2018 season. About 3 minutes away from the start here. Had a great jumping competition this morning with Ben Loomis from the United States leading the way. 1 second in front of Tobias Simon of Germany, and they're approaching the start now. And you can see there in the green bib, Mikko Kokslien, the winner of the first two events of this young season is a little ways back at the start of this, so he's got some ground to make up. He's in 12th position, 54 seconds back. Some of the favorites to look for are Lucas Ringaldier of Italy, number 15. Like we talked about earlier, Mikko Koxlin winning the first two events. David Velde of Germany also in 10th position. Got off to a good start on the jumping hill, one of the faster skiers out here. So far what we've seen is this has really been cross-country races. It's the jumping's so tight on this smaller hill that it's a very, very tight field, so expect to see some movement in the course of this race. Ben Loomis, one of the really good, promising young skiers from the United States. He's had 2 top 5 finishes in World Cup, Continental Cups so far to start this season, and he's been skiing fast, so look for him to try and stay away right from the start. And Ben Loomis is on the course as we start this final competition here in Steamboat Springs, Colorado. Tobias Simon's going to do everything he can to get right on Ben Loomis right from the start. Harold Jonas Reber is now out, younger brother of the Reber brothers. Slotvik of Norway, bib number 4, Nakamura number 5. And this is the start of 4 Japanese skiers. The whole team skied very well this morning on the jump hill, and look for them to try and work together to try and reel in Ben Loomis. Bib number 8, Yamamoto of Japan on the course now. Bib number 10, David Velde, who looked for him to move up some spots. He skied very fast the last 2 days. He had the 3rd fastest time yesterday. And there goes Mikko Koxlin and Ben Barron. Lucas Ringaldier right behind him. Figure for those guys to make up some ground in the early part of this race and try and close that gap to Ben Loomis. We're going to be doing 5 laps of a 2-kilometer course. The first part of the course is relatively flat, just kind of long gliding, and then you get into some of the steeper hills, which makes for a very exciting finish. You see Ben Loomis there leading the way in front of Tobias Simon, with Harold Jonas Reber trying to close that gap to catch up before they get to the first hill. This is the beginning of the first climb. It's a little bit short, but it's relatively steep. And see just how steep that hill actually is as these guys work their way up over the top of it. It's going to be important for Loomis not to go out too hard, but to stay controlled, ski his own pace. It's definitely different when you're leading the race as opposed to being a little bit back. As they come over the top of this first hill, you can see Reber's closed the gap now, so it's a 3-person train at the front of this race. Loomis coming up the top of this first hill. Looks like he's well in control of the race here so far. Doesn't seem to be pushing the pace too hard yet. Ben Lewis coming over the top of the major climb on this course. Got a little bit more over the top of the hill, then it's down in a fast track back into the stadium. Here's the 3-pack of Japanese skiers with 1 German coming in. They're the first chase group behind our 3 leaders, trying to close that gap down a little bit. And this is where it starts to get interesting. You can see Mikko Kokslian in the green bib, kind of getting over the top of that hill there with Lucas Ringaldier right behind him. That's a fast pack of skiers. Coming down into the stadium, see the glide on the skis here. German and the Norwegian coasting into Ben Loomis, sitting in his draft. We have Sotvik from Norway now closing the gap, trying to get on the back of this train. Once we get into the stadium, we'll get a good idea of how they're holding compared to the skiers behind them. Ben Loomis doing all the work right now, leading these other three skiers. You can see bib number 5, Yotu Nakamura, starting to catch up in the back of this. Doesn't appear that anybody really wants to be leading this race. They're kind of hesitant. Nobody's really taking charge, taking the initiative to push the pace so far. As they come around here to finish the first of 5 laps. With Ben Loomis still sitting in the lead, it's holding true to the way we started. Tobias Simon right behind him. Harald Jonas Rieber, number 3. Sindre Sotvik of Norway and Yutu Nakamura of Japan, all leading this race right at the time being. Ben Loomis heading down to the stadium here to start his second lap. So far, he's been in the lead of this race from the start, leading this train of 5 skiers. And here's when we have the other guys starting to come in behind. Number 10, David Velde of Germany has made up quite a bit of time, almost 25 seconds at the start of this race. There you can see Mikko Kokslian and Lucas Ringaldier. They've also made up a lot of time. They're about 30 seconds down of the leaders right now, and they started 56. So maybe a very fast start for them, a little bit of a slow start for the front leading pack. Tobias Simon now moving in the lead. Ben Loomis probably wisely dropping back in the group a little bit, getting a little bit of a break from the lead. It's certainly harder to be in the front of this race. If you're number 2, number 3, number 4 in the pack, you get a significant draft advantage on these flat sections. That becomes very important because you're able to rest and recover as you get into the final hills. Tobias Simon sitting there in front of Harald Rieber of Norway. Sindre Sotvik sitting in 3rd position right now, Nakamura 4th, and Ben Loomis sitting in 5th. So they start the second lap of this 5-lap race. Harald Rieber moving up on the outside of Tobias Simon. Ben Loomis staying on the far side of the hill, moving up into 3rd position right now. Coming up over the top of this first climb as they aim to build up speed so they can glide as far up the second one as they can. Tobias Simon still sitting in the lead right now with Harald Rieber right behind him. Ben Loomis sitting in 3rd. See Ben Loomis killing his speed a little bit there as he glides into the group. Nakamura starting to fall off the back of the pace a little bit there. Got a little bit of a gap opened up between him and the first 4 skiers. 2 Norwegians, a German, and an American. It'll be interesting to see how much these other guys have made up ground because they got up to a very fast start, making up almost 25 seconds on the first lap alone. So this front group needs to keep the pace a little bit higher if they want to hold off some of the faster skiers that are coming up behind them. David Velde of Germany leading the chase pack. He started 44 seconds behind the group. I think he's made up quite a bit of that. And there you can see Mikko Kokslian and Lucas Ringaldier really starting to close down the distance to these front leaders.
Here they come, leaders coming behind the concrete bleachers. Just see them pop up here momentarily.
Coming down this long downhill into the stadium, we still have the same situation. Tobias Simon of Germany leading in front of Harald Reber of Norway, with Ben Loomis of the United States sitting in third position right now. It's a good spot for Ben to be sitting because he's able to get a little bit of a draft, a little bit of a rest here. He looks fairly comfortable for the time being. Coming in the stadium, finishing the second of 5 laps. So through 4 kilometers of this 10-kilometer race. Right now you can see David Velde of Germany, bib number 10, has made a big move up. He's already made up 44 seconds on this lead pack. I think he knows that Mikko Kokslian and Lucas Ringoldier, who you can see coming into your screen right there, have already made up a lot of ground in just the first 2 laps of this race. There in the back of that pack, Ben Barron of the United States, having himself a good start to this race. Ben Loomis moving back in the lead. Tobias Simon happy to settle in behind him. You can see the Norwegians back there starting to make up a lot of ground, only about 10 seconds back now of this leading pack. Ben Loomis going back to the front of the race, knows that he has to pick up the pace a little bit with these guys catching up so quickly. Bib number 22 from Poland. Moving up in this race, Ben Loomis still continuing to lead the pack here in front of Tobias Simon. Starting to be a bigger group now. 8 skiers now in this leading pack, and they're about to be joined by a few more. Sindre Sotvik of Norway moving up on the outside with teammate Harald Reber tucking in right behind him. And there you can see Mikko Kokslian and Lucas Ringoldier have caught up to this lead pack now. So we start the 3rd lap of this 5-lap race. Kokslian and Ringoldier moving up on the outside, moving around Ben Loomis, the United States, trying to get control of this race. "12 skiers now in this lead pack as we approach the halfway point of the race. Start up this climb, you can see the 2 Norwegians trying to lead the pack here, keep the pace and tempo somewhere where they feel comfortable, because it's about to get a lot faster as these guys pick it up. Coming down after this first climb, still have the Norwegians in the lead, followed closely by German David Velde. Harald Reber leading the train up this first hill. David Velde moving up on the outside with Mikko Kokslian and Lucas Ringoldier. Starting to ramp up the pace of this race here as we are about halfway through. Some of the faster skiers at the front of this pack. Now David Velde of Germany was 3rd fastest in the race yesterday. Mikko Kokslian was 4th fastest, but he didn't have to ski as hard as he wanted because he was in the lead, so perhaps he saved a little bit for today. You can see Ben Barron starting to move up on the outside, as well as Jasper Good trying to close down the gap to this front pack of skiers.
They come around the corner, the pack's still pretty tight. Where's Ben Loomis?
Coming down here into the stadium, you can see David Velde, Miko Kokslian, and Lucas Ringaldier starting to open up a gap on the other skiers.
Number 27, Hugo Bavard. Boy, if he can stay with Hugo, that's huge. There they are.
Truls Johannes of Norway starting to close down this gap to these front skiers now as well. He's been on the podium twice so far in the first two events with a second and a third place.
Down the carry run here, back ready. A moment closer, Rita carrying the speed.
Be interesting to see who wants to take the initiative and lead this race. Right now it's currently David Velde of Germany leading the pack as they come in to finish 3 laps of 5 total that we'll be doing here today. 6 kilometers into this race right now, and we've still got a very big field right at the front of about 12 skiers strong. And there, bib number 24, Jasper Good of the United States, starting to close in on this front group. Ten skiers now in this leading group with 2 chasers right behind David Velde of Germany, continuing to lead around here. You can see Lucas Ringaldier of Italy starting to move up on the outside as this pace and intensity of this race starts to pick up as we get in the final 2 laps. Going around through the rodeo grounds, they've got about 300 more meters of flat before we start to get into the hills. You can see the pace is certainly starting to pick up with Lucas Ringaldier leading the pace in front of Miko Kokslian and Truls Johansen of Norway. Following behind them is David Velde of Germany. Ben Loomis, the United States, currently sitting in 8th position as we start the second to last lap of this race. You have Ringaldier on the front, really pushing the pace now. Miko Kokslian trying to stay behind him. Truls Johansen and David Velde of Germany continue to be the leading 4. Ringaldier looks like he's trying to separate this pack open a little bit, trying to push the pace, spread things out a little bit more, drop some of these skiers who perhaps might not be able to stay with him as they approach the finish. A little bit of a tangle in the back of the pack there. We've got a broken pole. One of the Germans, David Velde of Germany, has got a broken pole. He's able to get a new one there relatively quickly, so it shouldn't cost him too much, but he definitely lost some positions within this pack, and it's just that much harder to catch back up. All of that requires just a little bit of energy, so see if he's able to recover and get going again. See him trying to get his pole there as he's coming down this hill when they approach the final uphill. This is lap 4 of 5, so we got one more after this one. Now you can see Ringaldier letting Kokslian go in front of him there. He's done his work for the time being. Ben Loomis still trying to hang in there as this pace continues to be picked up by these group of faster skiers. And Jasper Good of the United States starting to catch up to the back of this pack. He's had a great race here so far, moving up from 24th place to get into the back of this. Just off the back of that first group. And they've really started to open themselves up from the rest of the race. You can see we've got quite a big gap now between our leaders and the chase groups. You can see the German skier Tom Lubitz trying to maintain this pace. This is a very challenging course, especially when you consider the altitude. It's really not that big or long or steep of climbs, but it's collectively a very hard workout because there's not that much rest. And so it's certainly hard to recover. We can see our leaders coming down into the stadium now. Still about 8 skiers in this front group. The front 4 or 5 have separated themselves a little bit. We'll see if these back 3 skiers are able to come back into the group. You can see Ringaldier not wanting to go in front, just letting Coaxland do the work here. Ben Loomis is able to glide back into the back of that pack. So we're still 8 skiers strong as we're approaching the end of the 4th lap. You can see nobody really wanting to take the lead right now. It's all bunched up as they come into the final parts of this 4th lap. So we got 4 chase skiers there in the back with Jasper Good, bib number 24, leading that group, trying to get back up to this front group. It's going to be hard work because the pace is going to continue to increase here as we start our final lap. Mikko Coaxland sitting in the lead right now in front of Sindre Sotvik of Norway and Truls Johansson of Norway. So right now we got Norway 1, 2, 3 as we start the final lap. And there you see bib number 27, Hugo Bouffard of France, has made his way up to this lead group. He's been the fastest skier so far in both of the previous 2 races. He's not only is he fast on Continental Cup, but he's one of the fastest guys on World Cup as well. So worked really hard to get to the front of this race. Now kind of going to the front with Truls Johansson of Norway, bib number 19. And Hugo Bouffard of France. Mikko Coaxland sitting right behind him. It's a very fast group, this first 4 or 5 guys, so look for them to really try and make a move on these first 2 of the 2 hills, as well as the second hill should be relatively decisive as they try and separate themselves in coming into the sprint finish. Hugo Bouffard of France going to the front of the race. Truls Johansson right behind him, and Mikko Coaxland in the green bib sitting in 3rd right now. This pack is still 9 skiers strong. Hugo Bouffard continuing to lead this pack around as they finish with the flats, and they're coming up to the first of the final 2 climbs. Look for somebody to try and make a move and get away on these 2 hills. Bouffard's had to do a lot of work to get to the front of this race. You can see now very strong coming up this hill, starting to pick up the intensity quite a bit. Bouffard really pushing the pace now. You see 2 Norwegians trying to keep pace. Truls Johansson right behind Bouffard. Mikko Coaxland right behind him. Bouffard really pushing the pace over the top of this hill, trying to get away. Hugo Bouffard and Truls Johansson trying to separate themselves a little bit. They've got a bit of a gap over Coaxland. He's able to glide back in. Thomas Jobstel of Austria is still holding pace there with Lucas Ringaldier moving into 4th. Bouffard really pushing the pace over the top of this hill. Truls Johansson trying to maintain behind him. Mikko Coaxland and Lucas Ringaldier are making up the lead 4 right now. Ben Loomis sitting in 6th position. There you have Jasper Good rounding out the top 10 right now, skiing up from 24th place to 10th. So great race for Jasper so far here today. A couple of the younger skiers just gliding back down into the stadium. Bennett Gamber of the United States, bib number 40. We'll see our leaders coming up over the rise here as they enter down into the stadium. Hugo Bouffard still in the lead. Truls Johansson trying to stay right on his tail. Mikko Coaxland sitting in 3rd. Lucas Ringaldier trying to maintain that gap. You can see Coaxland trying to get around the outside here. Starting to push the pace as they get in this final stretch. Coaxland's got the inside lane, moving around, Truls Johansson trying to maintain pace with Kokslian, and Hugo Buffard looks like he might have gone a little bit too early, but Kokslian starting to open up a bit of a gap in front of his teammate Truls Johansson. As they get down this final stretch, Buffard's doing his best to stay on the tails of all three of these guys. This has been our podium in the first two events. This is going to be a third. Can Mikko Kokslian make it 3 for 3 in Steamboat Springs? Coming around to the final corner. Kokslian's got a fairly good gap over Truls Johansson. Hugo Buffard trying to hang in the back. Lucas Rungaldier in fourth. Coming around the corner, you can see Ben Loomis in fifth place. And Mikko Kokslian coming in the sprint makes it 3 for 3 at the Continental Cups in Steamboat Springs. Truls Johansson is going to get second. Hugo Buffard with a great race coming in third. Lucas Rungaldier fourth. And Ben Loomis is going to get fifth place again for the United States. Making it 3 for 3 for fifth place finishes for Ben Loomis. See David Velde of Germany there, suffered that broken pole, it cost him a few spots. He did a lot of work early on. You can just see how tired these guys are. Such a difficult race, especially because of the altitude. But overall, fantastic racing, and what a great finish, especially from Mikko Kokslian, just so strong in the final sprint, able to glide around everybody on the downhill, put himself in perfect position as they come into the final stretch. Jasper Good coming across the finish line there. Great race for him, starting in bib 24. Moved up, I think he was around the top 10, so good race for him. Ben Barron crossing the finish line. Good race for Ben. And Steven Schumann of the United States, starting with bib 35, was able to move up a ton, so good race for Schumann. Norway going 1-2 in this Continental Cup, with Mikko Kokslian taking victory number 3 out of 3 here in Steamboat Springs. Jared Schumann of the United States, starting with bib number 38, moved up a ton as well.
What do we get when an entire nation comes together? The National Nordic Foundation. The NNF is proud to be supporting U.S. athletes for over 10 years. With our mission to develop athletic excellence in the United States, we continue to raise money ensuring that Nordic skiers can follow their dreams. The NNF has supported hundreds of aspiring athletes, helping them reach new heights, allowing athletes to follow their dreams and taking their talents to the next level. The NNF removes financial barriers for athletes and programs. The NNF helps success. Join us and support our future stars. Help keep Nordic skiing strong.
Starting with a 17-second time deficit in today's cross-country race, hanging on for a top six from Norway, Sigurd Ori Stotvik. In the fifth position for the third day in a row. If we had more time, we'd speak a lot more about this young individual. Three in a row in the fifth spot, 19-year-old Ben Loomis from the United States Nordic combined team. In the fourth position, for three great days of ski racing from Italy, Lucas Renatier. Moving on to our podium. From France in the third position today, second yesterday, and third the day before that. Likely today with one of the faster cross-country times, Hugo Bard. In the second position, 3 days in the top three, from Norway, Troels Hagen Johansen. And making it 3 for 3, a 10-year veteran of the World Cup, winning this Continental Cup here, ensuring his spot on the World Cup in the next period, as well as his spot for his nation, wearing the green bib, Nico Kurtzlien. And there's your podium, your top three. I can tell you that Steamboat is so thrilled and so proud to be a part of the International Continental Cup FIS ski competition scene again. We hope to host many more events like this in the future.
The finish of the Continental Cup in Steamboat Springs with Hugo Bouffard of France. 3 podiums in a row, 3 great races. Tell us a little bit about your trip to Steamboat.
I'm really happy. I couldn't expect the same results, so I'm happy to could be always in the podium. So it's good to finish the year and hope it's good, be a good season with coming.
Yeah, well, thank you for coming and visiting us here in Steamboat. We wish you the best of luck in the rest of the season.
Thanks a lot. Bye.
Truls Johansson here at the finish of the Continental Cup in Steamboat. 3 podiums in a row. What can you say about your time here?
It's been great. It's a special place, high altitude, and we've done great work here with the Norwegian team, coming over a week before, working hard. And I have to admit I felt like shit a couple of days before the races, but 3 podiums is perfect.
Yeah, that's great. Congratulations. Seems like you and Mikko worked well together in the last laps and were able to get away at the finish.
Yeah, I know that Mikko are really strong, so I kind of figured that if I stay behind him, I would be high up today. I had some seconds to pull in after the jumping, so I was kind of tired in the middle of the race, but I felt strong in the end. So I made some wrong decisions at the end. If I wanted to take Mikko, I had to be more offensive and go earlier.
Yeah, but I still think 3 podiums is a great event, so good luck for the rest of the season. We wish you all about the best.
Thank you so much.
And what made you so strong?
Well, the experience has been obviously very good. I've really enjoyed this whole week. We've been here for over a week now, and it's been sunny, it's been good weather. Jumping has been pretty good for me, and I've been feeling strong, and it's really nice to get home with 3 victories.
Yeah, it looked like you guys had a really fast group going on the last lap, and Buffard trying to get away. You were able to kind of hang on the back and then made a good move coming into the stadium.
Yeah, it was a pretty big group, and I sort of knew it was going to end up in a sprint finish, so tried to be tactical, saving as much energy as possible during the race, and then on the finish I felt pretty strong, and it was a good victory today as well.
That's perfect. Congratulations again. 3 victories here in Steamboat. We wish you the best of luck for the rest of the season.
Thank you very much.
Tony, seems like we had a successful weekend in Steamboat to open the Continental Cup season. Tell us a little bit about what you thought of the event and the facilities and how everything went.
Yes, absolutely. It was successful competition days here. From FAS side, I want to thank the organizing committee for hosting these 3 competition days here in Steamboat. The competition days was so very interesting and perfect organized. I should say thank you very much. It was great competition days here on Friday, Saturday and Sunday. And it was also the first time in the history we have a live stream transmission. It was great. And I hope we can come back in the future.
Yeah, we hope to have you back. It's great to have international skiing back in Steamboat. Thanks for coming. We hope to see you again.
Yes, we hope so also. And thanks also from the FAS side and from all nations and athletes competitors. Thank you very much.
Okay. Thank you, Tony. Ben Loomis, 3 great days here in Steamboat, 3 fifth-place finishes. Good start to the season. Tell us a little bit about it.
Yeah, I was definitely kind of hoping for some good results coming in, and very happy with 3 fifths, very consistent, and happy to be able to kind of put 3 good competitions together and set myself up for the rest of the winter. So definitely happy with it.
After winning the jumping this morning, did you feel any more pressure or stress going into the race, or just treat it like a normal race?
I think just treated it like a normal race, and it really allowed me to be relaxed right from the start and just really ski my own race for the first couple laps and kind of wait for those guys to work their way up to me and hopefully hang on to them.
So what's the plan now for before the next competitions?
Just go home, relax, and kind of spend some time recovering and getting ready for Olympic trials and then World Cup and more competitions after that.
Great. Well, congratulations again. 3 great finishes, and we look forward to seeing better results and more results in the future.
Absolutely. Thank you.
What do we get when an entire nation comes together? The National Nordic Foundation. The NNF is proud to be supporting U.S. athletes for over 10 years. With our mission to develop athletic excellence in the United States, we continue to raise money ensuring that Nordic skiers can follow their dreams. The NNF has supported hundreds of aspiring athletes, helping them reach new heights, allowing athletes to follow their dreams and taking their talents to the next level. The NNF removes financial barriers for athletes and programs. The NNF helps success. Join us and support our future stars. Help keep Nordic skiing strong.